Have you ever had your own room on a plane? You can. Multiple chef-prepared meals, bottomless champagne, a reclining armchair, and a fold-out bed. Enough room to do yoga. This is Singapore Airlines first-class suites aboard their A380, and it's beyond anything I've experienced on a plane before. And it's not as expensive as you'd think. This 7-hour flight plus another 7 hours in their incredible lounge, the private room, cost me just under $100. In this video, I'll show how you can book this flight for yourself, but first, let's take a look at exactly what you get for all those points. So for this trip, I'm taking the roughly 7-hour midnight flight from Singapore to Melbourne. I'm arriving about 7 hours before my flight because I am very keen to make the most of the lounge on offer. So as you enter the Silvercrest precinct in Changi Airport T3, if you turn left past both the excellent business class and first class lounges, you'll arrive at the secluded and winding passageway into the illustrious private room. You can tell this place is exclusive. In fact, you can only access it with a first class ticket for a Singapore Airlines flight. No level of status will get you in, and you can't even bring a guest if they're flying in a different seat class. But this limit ensures it's quiet and relaxed, and there'll always be a private space for you to sit down in, including the a la carte dining area, which is exactly where I'm headed to first. I ordered the dim sum delight with green tea, clearly another airline reviewer back there, and the peanut butter red velvet cake for dessert. A glass of champagne from a $400 or so bottle of Tate & J Comte is also on offer, setting the tone for a very luxurious night ahead. Portions aren't huge, but you can of course order as much as you want. Everything is covered by your ticket, but knowing I have a full meal or two awaiting on board the plane as well, I hold back ordering anything else. I move on to check out the largest shower in all of Changi Airport. Look, you probably don't need to see footage of that. I've showered on this channel before after all. But trust me, it was one of the most delightful showers I've had anywhere. With perfect heat, pressure, and an abundance of amenities in the room, it's the perfect way to prepare for the feature I'm most excited about, the nap room. Yep, as long as they're free, you're afforded a 2-hour stay in these literal private rooms. There are 2 with recliners and 2 with single beds, but I'd been looking forward to this nap all day, so I specifically requested a bed. With a zero-gravity Temper mattress and almost complete darkness, I have a genuinely restful nap for nearly the entire 2 hours I'm in there. Once nap time's over, I make my way back into the main part of the lounge and set up a little workstation in one of the sectioned off seating areas. Before long, it's midnight and time to take my seat on what will easily be the most luxurious red-eye flight of my entire life.
Thanks, sir. Welcome aboard. Thank you, Mr. Venus. Your suite is at 2.
Okay. Thank you. Calling this a seat is selling it a little short though. With a footprint of about 6 economy seats, this barely feels like I'm on a plane at this point. I'm in a small lounge room. I sit down and take a look around the space, finding my B&O noise-cancelling headphones, small amenity kit, and Singapore Airlines PJs. One thing I notice immediately is this carpet. Oh, so soft. What? As we wait for everyone to board, I'm offered a selection of champagne. Don't worry about which one I picked. I'd eventually try all 3 over the course of the night. After takeoff, it is time for my first dining experience. Now, Singapore Airlines have this Book the Cook service, which is available on all of their premium cabins, and it allows you to pick from a vast array of chef-prepared meals, and it all looks so good. So I booked ahead of time. I thought I'd booked a few different meals through the service so I could try a few things for this review, but it only counts your last choice. So I have breakfast ordered, but not dinner. I explained my predicament to the staff and they were more than happy to prepare me a midnight meal as well. I didn't really know what to pick though, so I asked for their recommendation, preferably something Singaporean. Their eyes lit up as they recommended Moonlight Hor Fun by Keng and Key Seafood. This is a rice noodle dish stir-fried with a mix of sliced fish, Chinese chicken sausage, squid, veggies, all topped with a sous vide egg. Amazing recommendation from the crew there. This is like really good. After dinner, I get better acquainted with my plane seat, or should I say armchair. It feels appropriately luxurious, like I'm a businessman with lots of important sitting to do. More realistically, I'm going to aim it towards a TV, and I'm even going to use the remote inside the chair to point the TV towards me. I eventually adopt the tried and true dad watching sports sitting position. Leg rest up, drink in hand, TV playing in front of me, slowly dozing off. But no, I shouldn't doze off, because I have the option to sleep in an actual bed. So I change into my Singapore Airlines PJs and call my attendant over to unfold the cot from the wall and make the bed for me. I asked to keep the back section upright a bit so I can finish watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie from bed. Quick review of that movie, wasn't worth it, definitely should have got more sleep. As I lay down on the bed, I take a moment to appreciate it. It's quite a firm mattress, mostly due to its thinness to keep flush on the wall when stowed, but the tucked-in sheets and plump pillows make it just about the best bed you can find on a passenger jet. I'm 5'10", and it easily accommodates my height and breadth. It feels wider than many business class flights have taken, which means there's room to roll around a little. So while that bed in itself is obviously very cool, if you go with a partner and can find 2 adjoining suites, you can do this. I spoke to the man in that video, PointHacks CEO Michael, about his recent experience flying the couples suite from Singapore to Melbourne. Here's what he had to say.
The best thing about it's the room, the space you've got. You've got space to turn. I'm a bit of a restless sleeper. I sleep on my side. I go from one side to the other. Often in business class beds, there's that restriction with width, and you often feel like you're a little bit constrained when you're moving around, but you don't get that in the double bed. It's like sleeping on a normal bed and just sleeping under an actual proper doona with good pillows. It didn't feel like we're on a plane. I've got to admit, it was great for the experience. If I had a choice and I had limited points and I had to decide which way I would go from Melbourne to Singapore on the day flight. Or if you're coming the other way, if you can get a day flight, I would recommend that. You get the full service, you get the time to enjoy the food, you get time to enjoy the wine. And that's really where a lot of the value is in these first class cabins. We missed a lot of that because we were asleep, but happily asleep.
It's morning, the sun is shining brightly through my windows, and it's almost time to land in Melbourne. I'm served one last meal, the Eggs Benedict with smoked salmon, and of course, it's incredible. With not much time left, I end the flight seeing if there's enough space to do yoga. Yep. And gazing out the window, watching the sunrise as we approach Melbourne.
I'm feeling pretty happy about this whole experience. The fact that I've got all this space still astounds me. And the fact I was able to spread out and just kind of do my own thing in here, including yoga, is it's pretty special. I'll definitely recommend putting this one on the frequent flyer bucket list if you haven't so already. Also, probably my favorite thing about this experience out of many, they gave me a little teddy bear. Come on, I'm gonna keep that forever. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I know what you're probably thinking. There is no way I'm gonna book that. That looks so expensive. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not as expensive as you might think, especially if you can access Singapore Airlines version of points, KrisFlyer Miles. Now, unfortunately, it's not currently flying to Melbourne as I make this video, but check the comments below to see if that's changed. For now, I'll show you how you can still get this flight to Sydney. If we pop that into the Singapore Airlines website with redeem flights, we want to be searching for award seats, but you specifically want the A380 for the suites. Otherwise, you'll be paying for regular old first class. Click the drop down here to see which plane you'll be on, and then make sure to pick one of the A380s. Singapore Airlines actually have 2 types of reward seats, Saver and Advantage. Although Saver is a lot cheaper, it's also a lot harder to find, and it's near impossible to find on this seat. So for this flight, I went with Advantage, and you might need to as well. But keep an eye out for Saver, you never know. Now you might be thinking, but Toby, I don't have any KrisFlyer Miles. Well, here's how you get them. The easiest way for Australians to earn KrisFlyer Miles is by converting your velocity points. You'll get 1 KrisFlyer mile per 1.55 velocity points. So for this flight, you'd be paying 240,250 velocity points plus fees and taxes if you were to go with this option. Another way is with a bank reward point earning credit card, whose points can be converted to KrisFlyer Miles. KrisFlyer has quite a few credit card partnerships in Australia, including many major banks. American Express rewards, for example, can be converted to KrisFlyer Miles at 3-to-1. Get one with a sign-up bonus and you'll be well on your way to this flight. Yeah, at the end of the day, you are definitely spending a lot of points on a single flight, but if you've been saving for a long time or want something to save for, I can absolutely vouch for this experience. And it only gets better if you're traveling with a partner, as Mike showed. If you're still looking for a taste of first class for less points though, might I suggest watching my previous experience where I fly Emirates first class from Sydney to Christchurch using Qantas points. That plane's also an A380, but that one has a shower. Want to watch that? It's right here. See you over there.